Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm gonna try this approach. This might be easier because I am not like biblical biblical based. I read it, I recite it, and I get it here. And the story this morning was, or the story this week, I made another video where perhaps I'll post parts of it to it because I found it quite interesting that I would talk about it because Thursday I felt some sort of way. And when I say some sort of way, I was kind of hard on myself and kind of down on myself because I thought I should be somewhere where I wasn't. And I thought, again, I think I made a video about this a couple months ago where I thought I should be at a certain point where I was. And I was kind of angry because I was a little disturbed by God, angry with God and the whole process. But um, then I sit down today to do my studies, and I came up to some very great points. And the first point was I forget whose I am, who I belong to. And I forget in order for me to allow someone to be a steward of my heart, they have to be worthy. Because if you give somebody the authority to be a steward of your heart or a steward of things that are around you, they have to be practicing under God's will and they have to want generally what's best for you. And the I think what I'm just being honest, the thing that I was angry most about God was I've been waiting on a companion. Isn't it something? And I, what every woman is waiting on, right? The struggle is real. The struggle is real. And I think me being celibate is makes it harder because either people want to stick around to get to know you or they take the next best option for them, which is the next best option for them perhaps is someone who is not celibate, which is not anything wrong with that. I don't think I told you how I became celibate. But then you feel like you're in competition with the world. And I really shouldn't feel as though I'm in competition with the world because who do I belong to is the question, is what God gave me this morning. Who really do you belong to? There's no question who you belong to. Let's see if I can tie this together. Um, so I felt some kind of way. I felt unworthy, and I felt that I was practicing as God would have me practice. But now He's saying practice a little bit longer, and I found that I He revealed to me in my study this morning that I was distracted. I was distracted by the vision, which means I lost purpose. So when you're distracted by a vision that He gives you, um, because you're so preoccupied with the vision, you forget the purpose and the process and the things that you learned along the way. And the one thing that I've learned is who do you belong to? And rushing the process could mean you forget who you belong to, which means that you tend to sacrifice some things that you know God has promised you. And you tend to lower your standards in an area where you know you're deserving of more if you forget whose you belong to. So I want to tell you not to forget who you belong to because you never should forget that. Because if the premise of your practice is based on, I'm talking if I was nurse, based on whose you belong to, then the rest is history. Because who you belong to signifies your destiny and what's going to happen and what was purpose for you. So nothing else around you really matters. So if someone chooses or someone or something chooses something over you, it doesn't um, brings your significant. It doesn't determines your value. That makes sense because God has already determined your value. Um, so with that in mind and in place, um, without going well, I cannot go too deep in my own situation. So I'm going to go deep in my own situation so you guys will have a better understanding and a better appreciation. So, like I said, I've been celibate and I've been dating someone, and that's just the way it is. And in um, my vision of the person is not um, was probably dwindled or something.